Okay, so last time I left it at, we need to fill in something here, right? We need to fill in that gap between those two things. So I got the slot there to accept something, no slot over here, and some detail work on the edge here, which I kind of liked and didn't want to redesign. So this is what I came up with. So we got this panel here with some of the panel, you know, I almost call them like shipping container type panels. And then we got some 45-degree bricks there. And then we have this plate, kind of the back side of the plate showing, just to give some kind of detail, you know, rather than just a flat black. So let me take off this little temporary support on the bottom. And we'll slide this guy into place. So let's see here. And there it goes. So this is what it will look like once it's installed. And you can see it slots into there really nice. Comes over to here and then kind of disappears into this abyss back here. So it allows me to keep that detail work on that edge piece and still kind of close up that gap. So when I first built it and put the 48 by 48 plate on top, I noticed that a light was leaking in from the top. So what I did is I put this 2 by 8, I think, yeah, 2 by 8 plate on top, and that then stopped the light. So let's see what it looks like when I put a plate up there, one of these 48 by 48s temporary. All right, so that's what it looks like. We got a nice kind of big display there. We got that gap closed up and it rests right on top of that. Nice. You can't see all you see is kind of the Batman colors, the dark bluish gray, the yellow, the blacks, so it looks really nice. I think, although I do see one item here I want to change, which is that detail of the dark bluish gray plate there. I think I want a maroon one instead, just to kind of go off the maroon over here and stuff, and then the maroon down here. So yeah, and then on the other side here, I had the slot. I don't have the 2 base plates set up, but here you can see it'll slot in that same way. And here's what it looks like. It's got, a couple of panels. These are those container pieces stacked up. Again, this slides into the slot, so you'll never see those weird colors. And then it's got just a little bit of detail with the maroon there, the maroon stripe, a little, what do you call it? The flat silver type doorknob, and then a little control panel. And again, we had the issue with the light. So I put this 4 by 12 or something, I think, 4 by 10 plate along the top to block out the light. So when that gets slotted in like this, okay, I think it'll sit, let's see here, where is it gonna sit? It's gonna sit right about there. Yeah, right about there. So now you can see it'll have the door. Again, that black plate on top is hiding a light that's going to come across. And yeah, so that way it disappears kind of back there. And then that edge piece will line up over here somewhere and kind of block off a little bit of this dark bluish gray here along the edge. Yeah, so I wanted to come up with 2 different designs to close up those gaps rather than one same, just mirrored on each side, just so we get some variety in here, because we do have these mirrored, and this is of course built in a mirror fashion. So yeah, so that's where we are now. The next thing I think I want to work on is I'm looking at these Technic structures again, and I think I'm going to keep them as they are structured, at least. But what I think I want to do is I want to hide them. I want to cover them up somewhat with plates or something, so that I can then build on those plates and kind of mask this Technic structure. So we'll see what I can do on that. And the other thing I got to do is I got to re-engineer how these are covered up on the bottom, because if I want to take these off to transport them, the way I had them originally on here, it took me probably 10 minutes to take off these plates that went all around here because they were on there so strong. So I got to make them, sadly, more flimsy in order to make this an easier task to take these up and down when I need to do so at the show, or building it just on and off here. So that's where I am now. So the next day update will hopefully have some structure or masking, across the front and sides of these. I won't do anything for the back because nobody's ever going to see the back, but at least along the sides and the front of this, and we'll see what we get there. Okay, have a good one.